Hi everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. We are on our notes. And so go to your notebook. We're going to go to page 4. And our goal on page 4 of our notebook is to figure out how to do rotations. And specifically, we're going to start slow. But what we have to remember is that rotations are turns. So on page 4 in your notebook, put the title. And remember that rotations are turns, okay? Before we do that, though, I want to make sure that we're good on what we did Thursday and Friday of last week. Notice and write this in your notebook. Draw yourself 2 lines. Just draw yourself 2 lines and then write reflections review. With this reflections review, what we have to remember first is that a reflection is simply a flip. The FL reminds me is that you're going to flip it or you're going to fold it over an axis. So we can do a reflection over the x-axis or we can do a reflection over the y-axis. Like I said, add this to your notes. Plot the order pair 2, 1 in your notes. And what we want to do is we want to fold it over the x-axis. So here's the x-axis. We want to simply fold it over so that we reflect it over that axis. So all you have to do is you have to count how many away it is. It's 2 from the x-axis, or it's 1 from the x-axis. So you're going to put it, instead of 1 above, you're going to put it 1 below. And then you're going to write your new order pair. So the original was 2, 1, but the new one, the A prime, the new image is going to be 2, negative 1. So we look at the rule and see what happened. So the rule says, what happens with the rule, it says we're going to keep the x. If we're going over the x, we're going to keep the x. And if you notice, the 2 and the 2, they stay the same. We kept the x. It was fine. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the opposite of the y. So to do the opposite of the y, instead of it being a 1, it's a negative 1. And that's what happened there. Anytime I want to reflect over the x-axis, then I have to keep the x. Then I do the opposite of y. So the opposite is true is if I want to go over the y-axis. Instead of keeping the x, I'm going to keep the y because I'm going over the y-axis. That means that I'm going to do the opposite of x. Now, I don't have to use this rule. I know if it's going over the y-axis, I can just fold it over. So therefore, if my order pair is 2, 1, and I'm 1 unit away, or no, I'm 2 units away from the y-axis, I've got to go 2 units away this way. So there it is. That new order pair is negative 2, 1. And notice what changed. I was supposed to do, if I'm going over the y-axis, I'm going to do the opposite of x. And that is exactly what happened. My x values changed. They got the opposite x value. The original was 2, 1. And my new image is negative 2, 1. Okay? Now, let's move on to rotation. So now that you remember the reflections, now we're going to learn something new. So on each of these images, you're going to copy this in your notes. You are going from clockwise, and you're going to also rotate counterclockwise. But the black one is the image. That's the pre-image. The new image is the red one. If you look at this, there's a difference at which way I rotate it 90 degrees. So the first one, what I've done is I've just gone just like the clock. I've kept going around this direction just like the clock goes. So that's a 90-degree rotation that is clockwise. Now, if you look at the other, I'm rotating this way, and that's not the way the clock goes. So that is a 90-degree rotation counterclockwise. That is a 90-degree rotation counterclockwise. So that's important to know. Okay, today, lucky for us, we're only going to go counterclockwise and we're only going to rotate 90 degrees just to get an idea of what that looks like. So what I want you to do is put example 1 and draw this graph. The order pair is 2, 1 for the pre-image. The new image, the order pair is negative 1, 2. The new image, the order pair is negative 1, 2. So looking at that, from the black one to the red one, I'm going counterclockwise, and it's only a quarter turn. So I'm going counterclockwise 90 degrees. Now, As I do that, notice what happened. My ordered pairs are almost the same numbers. One has been changed, but the numbers have reversed. That's because we're flipping. When we rotate, not only does the ordered pair rotate, the whole coordinate plane rotates. So the x and y are going to spin around also. So the y-axis is going to, what was originally the x-axis is going to spin around, and now it's going to be the y-axis. And we'll look at that with paper and actually spin it around tomorrow. But the rule is what you're going to do is if you want to go 90 degrees and you want to go counterclockwise, then you're going to do the opposite of y, and then you're going to reverse the x and y. So my original started with 2, 1. All I'm going to do, and I do the same method every time so I don't get confused. I'm going to, step 1 is going to be the opposite of y, and then I'm going to reverse my order pairs. So my new order pair is -1 and then 2. That's my new one. Notice this order pair, this point is the point -1, 2. So to rotate counterclockwise, I have to do the opposite of y and reverse it. Let's practice a few. For me, I do this algebra work first, and then I plot my point. So let's do example 2 in your notes. So I've got a typo here. This is actually -4, +1 because I'm going up. And we're going to use the rules. We're going to do step 1. We're going to do the opposite of y and then reverse the order x and y. So get your paper ready. Draw your graph. Plot the point -4, 1. Get your scratch work ready. And you already have the rule written from the previous example. Okay? So all we have to do is the opposite of y and then reverse the order pair. So it's going to be -1, -4. Notice the y value is the only one that changed its sign. But then, because I'm rotating the axis, I need to rotate the order pair. So -1, -4. So if we plot -1, -4, x is -1, y is -4, that is the new image right there, okay? So we have A and A prime. Notice what happened between A and A prime. It rotated backwards, not like the clock. It rotated counterclockwise a quarter turn. So it was in quadrant 2. It rotated on around to quadrant 3 because that's 1/4 of the way around. It's just turned one turn around, okay? Let's try the next one. The order pair is 3, -2. So go ahead and plot 3, -2 on your paper. Write down the order pairs, and here we go. 2 steps. Opposite of y, reverse the x and y. So opposite of y, reverse the x and y. That's my new order pair. I did the opposite of y, and then I wrote down y comma x. Okay, I just flipped it. So let's plot that and see what that looks like. So the new order pair is 2, 3. Your original was 3, -2. And your one that has been rotated a quarter turn counterclockwise 90 degrees, which is the A prime, it is 2, 3. All we did was spin it around. If it were in quadrant 4, we had to spin it around to quadrant 1. Okay? All right, last one. 4, 0. What is it? Or -4, 0. Notice that's a typo also. It has to be 0, -4 because you're going side to side 0 and you're going down to -4. So we'll get those order pairs right eventually. So in order to flip this, we're going to have to do the opposite of y. Go ahead and graph the original on your paper. Label the original A. That's the pre-image. That's one we start with. And then we're going to do A prime. So to get A prime, to get the one that's counterclockwise 90 degrees, we're going to do the opposite of y. And we're going to reverse. So it becomes 4, 0. To plot 4, 0, you're going to go side to side 4. and up 0. That is 4, 0. That's the new one. Notice that worked perfect because looking at that, it's just a quarter turn to the next axis. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to practice a few of those on a Google form and go from there. If you have any questions, send me an email. I'd be happy to make you a new video or answer your questions in class tomorrow.